Talk about a month for Hot Toys. Talk about the past week when it comes to Hot Toys. The innovation, what they're showing, is absolutely off the charts. And you have to wonder, with celebrations still going on, and with the start of this new week, is it possible that we could get even more crazy stuff than what we did with this Darth Vader from the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary? Than that C-3PO with the Salacious Crumb from the 40th anniversary of the Return of the Jedi? We're not even at May 4th week, ladies and gentlemen. But we are at the time for brewing fresh 6-scale Cantina coffee, my friends. So much to talk about. Is it a market 180? What exactly is going on? Is it going to last? How does the future outlook look? Let's go ahead and dive into all of this right now. All right, and welcome everyone to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show, right here at 6-scale Cantina. And just in case you don't know just who I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington, about to serve up all the 6-scale Hot Toys talk. So please go ahead and smash that like button. And while you're at it, please also go ahead and subscribe to the Cantina. I really appreciate your support. Man, it's been, wow. It's been an absolutely crazy week when it comes to Hot Toys. They started it off with that Mech Black Panther that you can change into, like a Black Panther. It's absolutely crazy. Out of nowhere, it's not even May 4th week, you get two Return of the Jedi 40th announcements. And look, that Darth Vader, you talk about not just straight up copying the quarter scale Darth Vader. You want to talk about innovation, just like the aforementioned Black Panther. You want to talk about innovation. They didn't just straight up copy that quarter scale one. Wow. I mean, you want to talk about at the base, the translucent, electrified, and I'm electrified helmet, rolling eyeballs with the head sculpt. It is absolutely incredible to see them not just throwing something in a package, but really putting in some time and effort to give us something that's, I dare say, very, very, very special here, ladies and gentlemen. This is, for me, the ultimate Darth Vader. Ultimate. It is absolutely just incredible. I love the base. I love the base that they're giving us with that C-3PO as well. Absolutely sensational. But we are not even at May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Remember what happened last year on May 4th. We're going to forget about what happened the year before on May 4th. Not to digress. But we all know what happened last year. And they've been on this pattern, Hot Toys, of really, really putting in a lot of effort to communicate with us collectors, to reassure us collectors of how committed they are to give us the characters that we have been calling for in so many IPs. Look, this is a must-have if you're collecting original trilogy and Return of the Jedi, this particular character. They went out of their way last year to show us their commitment. Even when the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back line was well over, on April 13th, they gave us a DX25 Empire Strikes Back Bespin Luke. Even though that line is over. They showcased for us, staying with Star Wars, banners that said, we are going to come out, don't fret, with all of the Bad Batch figures. We are going to come out, don't fret, with all 4 of the Inquisitors you saw on the Obi-Wan series. We are going to come out with more figures than the 5 that we just showed you on May 4th. Don't worry, you're going to get head sculpted figures. Don't worry, you're going to get Mace. You're going to get Padme. You're going to get Anakin. They did all of that. And for those in other IPs where it looked bleak to, we're not going to get a Doc Ock from, the third Spider-Man movie in the trilogy with Tom Holland. We're not going to get the Green Goblin. We're not going to go ahead and get, Jamie Foxx, Electro. And they did. One after the other, after the other. And they're really just showing a huge commitment to giving us some of these characters that some of us are really jonesing for. But I really think the reason you're able to get some of these cool things and so many different characters is because it is lower production. Lower production on all of those. We couldn't be getting, the Jamie Foxx figure. We wouldn't be getting, the latest Neo figure from the latest, Matrix movie if they had to make the amount of copies that they seemingly did. Like with the Beskar Mandalorian regular and the Beskar Mandalorian deluxe. Or with the Mark 85, either version. So on and so forth. But with these figures that are up for pre-order for a very, very long time, not as long, albeit as we have been used to, 2 years or so, but still for months and months and months, they're not up as long. They go ahead and they hit waitlist. They get a low stock warning and they hit waitlist in favor of other versions of the same character. You could look at this figure right here. And I've mentioned before, you're going to have multiple Darth Vaders up like you have multiple Iron Mans up. Okay, it's a very popular character, let's just face it. You're going to have multiple Boba Fett's up just like you have multiple Spider-Mans up. It's just going to happen. You're going to have multitudes. That's why you're going to have more than one Luke. When it comes to characters like this, you're going to have more than one Luke, just like you have more than one Batman. That's what's going to happen on the prominent characters. However, there is somewhat of a pattern. As the DX28 Darth Vader with the Hayden Christensen, half a head sculpt anyway, starts to slowly, more and more, get closer to waitlist, where you just have the deluxe version now that is in stock. The collector version, along with the 2 exclusive versions, are already on waitlist. Here comes this Return of the Jedi one. Because there's only so much juice to squeeze, even on the most awesome of a collectible. Even on how awesome that DX28 Darth Vader is. Even though how awesome the Mark 85 is. And forget about the head sculpt, whether you get the new one or the Ed one. It's an awesome figure. Or the battle damaged Mark 85. Or how awesome the integrated suit is with Spider-Man. Or how awesome this is or that is. There's only so much juice that can be squeezed. And instead of putting in so much stock, taking up so much warehouse DC space, you're getting other variations of the same character with different outfits or from different timelines from within that intellectual property. And is it possible that that is exactly what you are seeing? And I say yes. In some part, and in a large part, yes. It really, really is. Let's pause for some coffee. You are watching the Market Chart Show, this week's Market Chart Show here at 6 Scale Cantina. Cheers to you. Coffee is delicious. So, the 3PO here is a great example. What have I been talking about for months, ever since Wave 1 of the Attack of the Clones, Wave 1 of the 20th anniversary, hit Waitlist? I said, don't fret if the Attack of the Clones version of 3PO, unless the Attack of the Clones version of 3PO, put it to you this way, was the absolute one that you must have, that you didn't need to fret, because rest assured, you're going to get one for the Return of the Jedi 40th. And the Hot Toys Wizard strikes again, because here you go, and here it is again. And you have to wonder, if you decide to not only skip out on the Attack of the Clones C-3PO, but this Return of the Jedi C-3PO, will you also be SOL and not get another C-3PO? And I say, no. You're going to get a C-3PO from just about almost every TV show that he shows up in, or every movie that 3PO was in. You're going to get every version of C-3PO all the way up to the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, when you get the A New Hope version somewhere around 2027. You're going to get every version up to then. You could skip on every single one that's going to come out if you choose to, because they are going to go ahead and milk this mold over and over and over again. Again, you don't have to take one mold and have 100,000 production on the first shot. This is no, and that's an exaggeration, but my point is, that is no longer the way. This is the way. And that is exactly 100% what you're seeing. It's going to be the same exact thing with the R2D2. Gosh, the OT R2D2 in the secondary market, it's so high. And I missed out. I didn't pre-order the Attack of the Clones R2D2. Again, unless the Attack of the Clones version of R2 is the absolute one for you, and you just want to get one R2, I told you the same thing about this. And even though it didn't come out yet, you can bank on the Hot Toys Wizard, because I've received information from the Hot Toys Wizard that a Return of the Jedi R2D2 is 100% forthcoming in the 40th anniversary packaging for Return of the Jedi from Hot Toys. And if you skip out on this one, you can rest assured, I don't even have to check with the Hot Toys Wizard, you will get another R2 again and yet again. But this figure here, wow, absolutely sensational. die cast. Cannot wait to get the R2. And look at the base. The packaging is sick. You talk about the innovation. I mean, how many of you missed the sand bases with the footprints? Come on, be honest. This is so sweet. And really in short order, because a lot of times when these type of figures come out, it takes them a while to get all the way up near number 1. And remember, the Attack of the Clones 3PO, it never cracked the top 5. It was just, it was, expensive, and that one didn't even crack the top 10, to be honest with you, with everything else. But let's go ahead and take a look. Well, that's 6scalecantina.com, which you should bookmark that as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at Sideshow and sort out everything best-selling wise. And looky here, number 1, Darth Vader, and number 2, C-3PO. That Attack of the Clones 3PO, ladies and gentlemen, never, ever hit anywhere close to where this one is. So if you're wondering, we're going to have to keep an eye on the Clone Pilot. We're going to have to keep an eye on the Clone Trooper. We're going to have to keep an eye on those Wave 1 Attack of the Clones figures to see if they come back in stock. I don't think you have to keep an eye on it anymore. This is a clear indication. That one's done. That one's on waitlist. Over and done. If you want a 3PO, you can choose if you want to get this version or you don't want to get this version. But climbing very quickly, these just came out from Thursday, all the way up at the top. I mean, look at Bo-Katan and Luke. And Luke is not even in this series yet. And wow, that Mandalorian Luke. And remember, that DX22 and 23, it hit waitlist, the collector version and the deluxe version. Only the 2 exclusive versions on that Luke are available. Only the 2. Let's pull them up. You can get the deluxe limit 1 per person. You can get the exclusive limit 1 per person. If you try and get the regular collector edition, you'll have to join the wait list. If you want to get the deluxe version, you can go ahead and join the wait list. If you want this figure and you have the buddy for this figure, and you can only get the exclusive versions, keep an eye on this. There's only limit 1 now that you could put in a cart. But I suspect very quickly you're going to see a low stock remaining warning and then an almost gone warning. And in very short order, is it possible that both the exclusive versions here, limit 1 per person, will be hitting waitlist? And I say, absolutely. Do not kid yourself at all. Absolutely crazy indeed. But again, those Vader, that Vader from Return of the Jedi and that C-3PO, wow. All the way at the top, high demand, out with the old, in with the new. And when you look at that Darth Vader, again, the one that I talked about before, the DX28, as you're seeing with so many of these, it's only a matter of time. Do I think that they are moving, at least currently, to a pre-order only model? Yes. That's how it is appearing, my friends, for sure. And how does that affect the market? And how does that affect what is going on? If they weren't moving to a pre-order model, what would be going on? Let's go ahead and take a look. Because once the juice is squeezed, it is so hard to find more. And I'm going to pull these up onto the screen. And as this loads, I'm going to go to the bigger screen. There's only so much juice, no matter how popular a character is, as I've said. Because there's not a whole lot of collectors in this current volatile global economy diving into, taking the plunge to buy collectibles or anything that requires expendable income in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollar range. Especially if you want to get more than one or two, where you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of dollar ranges. It's just not happening right now because the price of gas is high. Because the price of eggs are high, baby. But if you want to go ahead and join my channel, it's cheaper than a dozen eggs. Little plug there. Everything is high. So there's not a whole lot of collectors diving into. Not for a lack of interest. It's for a lack of funds. Let me say that again. Not from a lack of interest, but from a lack of funds. Now, I am seeing a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a supercharge in the secondary market, even the primary market. Why? Well, there's a variety of reasons. First and foremost, it's tax season, and a lot of people are getting their returns back. Keep that in mind. In a way, for some, it acts like a stimulus. And you're going to see a little bit of an uptick in these type of purchases. Is it going to be a long haul thing? And we're going to have to keep an eye on it because no one really can predict exactly with 100% perfect, clarity how the economy is going to go for the rest of this year and into next year. I can tell you, with certain commodities, for instance, some things are lower, some things are better. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it. Nobody knows, but make no mistake about it, there's a little bit of an injection, a stimulus, if you will, right now. So you're going to see a little bit of an uptick here and there. But the thing you have to think about, is it enough of an uptick? Are things turning around enough where you think thousands of collectors are going to dive into a lot of activities or a lot of things that require thousands of dollars in expendable income? Let's pause for coffee as you think about that. There will be some, and in the future, there will be droves of them coming in. I really believe that. But there is some that come in now. And it's a lot of hobbies have strong collectors. And they're going to buy and buy and buy and buy. But there's only so much juice you can squeeze out of it. Okay? There's only so much. So what do? Do you keep that figure in stock? Or do you clear the space out and you put in a different version of that same figure so that you can sell variants of the same character from either the same movie, a different movie, a TV show, an animated series, a comic book, a thought, a whatever? And that's exactly what you're seeing. Let's go to some data here. So, pulling this up onto the screen, you can see here, and $182, okay? Reserve not met, 2 bids, okay? 2 bids, reserve not met. Buy it now for $399. Zero feedback. Wow. This seller is on a different planet, on a different dimension, in a different time when it comes to 6 scale collecting. Certainly not in a time that I'm in, okay? In a dimension that I'm in with this, okay? Let's go to another one, okay? Because this would be more realistic. Not trying to sell it for $400 and putting a reserve on your precious collectible that's just not going to collect that in its very, very young maturity. It's going to take some years. And a lot of it has to do because the juice has been squeezed. Here's one from an actual outstanding seller with 936 feedback, all 100% positive, and a much more realistic, and what I see it going on at the secondary market, of $176.27 with 30 bids. Not including the very, very low, gosh, $11.45 in shipping. And mind you, it's new. It's new. And listen, when you see sellers like that aforementioned one, and you see things that come up like this, and if you go real quick and you're not thinking and you're new in this hobby, you want to stay far away from stuff like this with a buy it now or 400 or pumping it up and something realistic. And yeah, relist it at the same exact thing. Absolutely kidding themselves. But I would hate for someone to buy this for $400 because it's not worth it. But if you join my channel, if you think you could benefit from it, I have a brand new show that's going to be coming up. Now, I had one that's already recorded in the last market chart show for you insiders that I actually didn't put up yet. I still got to cut it, but it's recorded. That one with Luke is coming up. And it's going to be, you're actually going to be getting 2 big ones this week. But you're not going to want to miss this new show. Buyers beware. Okay? And how not to get burned on eBay, which I'm blocking that part of the text because I want you to see my face here. Seller information. I am a moron with 0 feedback. You don't want to miss this exclusive Insiders Extra where I'm going to give you my vast years, my vast decades of collecting experience on what to be aware of and be weary of when it comes to buying, not only on eBay, but on Mercari or anywhere. There are certain signs that you have to be aware of. Number 1, if there's a lack of pictures or a lack of description for something that costs hundreds of dollars, is there a lack of interest on the seller's part to want to be able to disclose to you everything that is with that figure? To want to be able to take the time to care on what they're giving. Does that tie into if they're going to care about the things that they have in their collection? Does feedback really matter as far as the number, or is it more the contact between you and the buyer? Is there certain wording that you have to be really, really cautious of, and that if you don't pay close attention to, that could kind of really suck you in to something you weren't expecting? I know many of the tricks You do not want to miss this exclusive Insiders Extra. All you have to do, besides believe, click on the little join button, see everything that it comes with, and join the channel. You get a lot of stuff like this. I will tell you that there's a second part of this series that is coming up. Buyers beware. How not to get burned on eBay. Okay, and sellers beware is forthcoming over the next couple of weeks. If you're looking to sell, how do you cover yourself? How kind of wording should you use? Should you spend extra money for its signature? For posted signature that they received it? Should you spend extra money to insure it when you send out your package? Is there certain wording that actually makes a difference when you put it in your listings like eBay? And I say, yes. Learn from somebody who's been in it for a long, long time. Someone who's been burned badly before on it. It's going to be coming out. I do appreciate your support if you want to give it a try. Again, it's cheaper than a dozen eggs. Try it for a month. You hate it, you lose a few bucks. Anyway, let's continue to go on over here with some of this stuff. But this is much more realistic of some of these items right now that have been in stock for a long, long time. Let's go to some more over here. I'm going to pull this up. And look, it's just hard. And this is a great seller, 160 feedback, all 100% positive. But this kind of goes with what I'm saying. You know, you're thinking, wow, I want to go ahead and place a bid. It's $175, but it's $60 in shipping. So, and there could be many reasons for this, especially if you're going to, put extra insurance or where it's shipping from or whatnot. But really, right off the bat, you got to know the price is going to be $175 plus $60. So these are all kinds of things I'm going to be talking about on that particular show for insiders. Let's go to more here. Again, this is a beautiful figure. I have seen this figure. I have had this figure in hand at my friend John and his daughter Tori's house. But look, it's in stock, and this is free shipping with an outstanding seller of 4,267 feedback. Are you kidding me? $197.50. $197.50. Let's go to more. There's the Blurg with the Mando. The Mando's hot. I'm going to show it to you. Very hot. But this one here, juice has been squeezed. $374. A little bit less than the $615 or so. 141 feedback with this seller. All 100% positive. Not including the $23.70 in shipping. You're going to put the DX28 in stock? You're going to put that OB1 in stock? You're going to put a few thousand in stock with what you're seeing right now? You answer that question. Do you really need me to tell you? You got a lot of these 2.0s that are up. 360 or some dollars. And seeing this all over the place. An outstanding seller with 82 feedback. All 100% positive. Beautiful. From Iron Man 2. Yeah. $315 with just $20 shipping. Much less than the retail price. And has been up on here and hasn't moved for a couple of weeks. And I don't care what version it is. Here's I mean, this one goes to like $425 or so, the non-battle damage one. The Mark 85. And, I mean, look at that. Wow. What a deal here. $295. And, just $10 in shipping. $305. It's been up here for a week. Where's the extra juice? Where's the big demand? Warehouse space for this or warehouse space for new stuff? And it doesn't matter. Hot toys, not hot toys, whatever toys. Here's your Grievous. And say what you want about it, but another outstanding seller, 338 feedback, all 100% positive. It's well under the retail price, $193 and new. 8 bids, free shipping. Again, I am seeing an uptick on a lot of stuff because of tax season and stuff like that. But, and then with certain characters, you know, like the Iron Man suit up from Mark V, very selling at retail. So, and then Axe Wolves suddenly, and I think we all know why, not to spoil it for you. Look, secondary market, outstanding seller, 1,405 feedback, all 100% positive, 217, not including the 2625. Now we're talking. Wow, very hot on that. And I was talking to you about how hot the Mando is. The Chrome version, though, $370, just back from April 6th. Yeah, outstanding seller. 12,387 feedback. Absolutely insane. And when you, how about these figures that go out? How about these figures that, and as I pull this up, what about the figures? How are they going to perform, the ones that are hitting waitlist well before that they're released, and then they get released? Will they perform like the arena suit Boba Fett? I suspect that some will. Not a whole many of them. I could see 20 to 25% of them, even 30% of them performing like that. The other 70, 75%, maybe a little bit over, but certainly at retail, it is a complete market 180. For instance, case in point, pulling this up on the screen. Here is the Chrome Clone Trooper. And this was used. And this does not, make no mistake about it, have any demand like the arena suit Boba Fett. But it was limited, and it hit waitlist. But $290 used? Outstanding seller, 361 feedback. All 100% positive. All the wrappings, all the trimmings. Looks hot, baby, actually. And selling above the retail. Used. Right there. Complete difference from what we've been seeing. Why? Because supply and demand. Lower stock, lower supply, higher demand. If they would have went ahead and produced this like the Coruscant Guard, if they would have went ahead and produced this like the Stormtrooper Commander, like the Artillery Trooper, like the Ahsoka Clone Wars figure, would this right now sell $290 used? And I say, no, it wouldn't have. And you and I both know it. Pause for coffee. Time to bring out the hotter in the thermos. I knew this show was going to be recording. There we go. A little warm. I'll have to save what's in here for ice. For some iced coffee. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. And then let's look at the regular market in a whole. And for instance, Celebration. And this is already a high seller. And I told you a future Grail. This is a high seller to begin with. But, and here's a great seller. And right after Daisy Ridley walked out in Celebration and got that thunderous applause, and all that hoopla sold. Sold. An outstanding seller, a seller that I buy from frequently, a seller that I know, Ray, a seller with 1,544 feedback, all 100% positive. And yes, sometimes he'll go $15 best offer. Let's say 20 here. $365. Ray, gone. Gone. And you have to wonder, what happens now that Ray Skywalker is back in a movie with this figure that was only in stock for 3 weeks? Keep an eye on this. I've already told you this is a Grail. This is absolutely a future Grail. And this is selling in this economy right where it should be. And before long, this will be a $500 figure here. And listen, I know you see it on my banner. But really, I put it on here as a tease for 6 scale Raw, which is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 50 minutes early. 8 o'clock Eastern, special show tomorrow. Okay, 8 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have 6 scale Mafia in the house. Shout out to Anthony. We're going to have brother cousins in the house. You're not going to want to miss Jay. Okay? We're going to have Lane in the house. You're not going to want to miss that. We're going to have the Star Wars newsman. It's going to be an outstanding show. But listen, which many of you don't doubt, especially with the lower production runs and what they're putting out here. But if you were doubting Darkside Ray, now that Daisy's in the forefront, you can bet your arse that this figure, whether it's going to be a con exclusive or an exclusive or whatever you want to call it, is 100% money. Put it in the bank. And this is one that the Dark Jedi right here is, anytime I can get a female Sith or Dark Lord from Star Wars, I'm going to buy that and put it in one of my displays. It is coming. We're going to talk about it tomorrow night. You do not want to miss that. And it is so exciting. And listen, what about the Ahsoka? What about the Ahsoka DX20? What about the Ahsoka? What about the Ahsoka DX21? I mean, what about it? What about what happened at Celebration? Let's talk about that. What about what happened at Celebration? What about these Ahsokas right here being on waitlist and not being available? Could this go like the Crumb clone trooper I just showed? Sure. And I think maybe in the short haul it might be around there. But could this have the potential of going like the Arena suit Boba Fett? Yes, it could. Here's the thing, and I'm going to talk to you about this. What happened with that Arena suit Boba Fett? A lot of people bought that where they really didn't want it. They went ahead and they bought it. They got on the list. They bought it to resell it for people like you and me, which I'm on the wait list for the Arena suit Boba Fett. And I don't think that that's ever going to flow over for me so that they could sell it. But it wasn't just one or a dozen. It was like how many got the figure? They didn't even want the darn figure. They went ahead. They got the darn shipping box. And they were like, put it up for sale for $900, which is what they were doing. $800 to $850. And everyone kept trying to sell it. Then it went down to $400, mid threes for a little bit. But then everybody who wanted it, because it's a very low production run figure, has it, really wants it. Now, when it's up for sale, and it was a very little bit, didn't need a whole lot of time to mature because it's low numbers, people want it. So you have to wonder, what happens with Ahsoka? Definitely, probably higher numbers, but not much higher. Remember, the DX Ahsoka came out. DX20, DX21. On the heels of the Clone Wars Ahsoka, which broke the internet. Smashed the internet. Obliterated the internet. And the DX ones come out, and it smashes the internet as well. But after a certain amount of months, and it sold very, very well. Number one for a few weeks. I think 4 weeks. Maybe 5. Unlike some of the other figures, though, like the Lukes, once it had its stint, it not only went down, but it went way down. Like it was by the Jet Troopers and Blurgs for a year. A long, long time. And if you want to try to convince me that one sold a day, there's 365 days in a year from the final year, not the first year it was up, maybe. You want to talk about thousands? So we know they made approximately 3,000 of that arena suit Boba Fett. How many of this? So what's going to happen here? People are going to get this when it gets released. Some are not going to want it. They're going to put it up for like the prices it's going for right now, the DX $600, okay, or $500 for the non-DX one. And those sellers are going to try and sell. So it could be more around the retail price for a little bit, but then that is going to dissipate because it's a very, very low production on this. Furthermore, what did we learn in Celebration? How freaking cool does that Ahsoka Series trailer look? And you can bet your bottom dollar that somewhere between now and the end of The Mandalorian, or at least in the extended credit scene, you're going to see Ahsoka. And they're going to promote that sucker. Don't think otherwise. That figure is going to go through the roof, and it's on waitlist, and it hasn't even come out. This is not the Ahsoka that's going to be available for the Ahsoka series. There will be a new one that is coming out. And just like this Luke that I put up earlier, the TX 22 and 23 Luke, and look, this isn't... Don't skip out on this figure. It's Luke Skywalker. It's Luke Skywalker. Outstanding seller. Over 19,000 feedback. All 100% positive. Very, very interesting indeed. Let's look at some of these other ones here. How are the regular old-time figures coming up in the secondary market? Well, here's the Joker. And here's a Joker with a piece missing, but in excellent condition, but a piece missing. And still sold for $350 with shipping. And 26 bids with an outstanding seller. 253 feedback. All 100% positive. And I'm telling you, I've been talking about this. Even with that outstanding, and I do mean outstanding in art Joker, which I'm really, really trying to find the money to get and get it from someone or someplace where I can get that quick. A lot of people still looking for this DX11. And we're going to have to keep an eye on if Hot Toys is going to redo this. I think that they will, because they're coming out with, you know, the Christian Bales and the Anne Hathaways and the Banes, and I think it's only a matter of time before they get around and doing this. And will that be on par? Will they be going back and forth in art and Hot Toys, and which one could be better? I hope so. I think iron sharpens iron. But still, even going back to this DX11, honestly, in my view, it's an outstanding figure. And apparently, as I'm showing you after the last few weeks, you can see in the secondary market, even with a piece missing, a lot of people agree on that are bidding on these and going for them anyway. And when you look at some other Staples figures, and this is the rarer of the Jacks, but you don't find a whole lot of real good DX15 Jack Sparrows. And remember, this was the one that was right before. This was the last DX before the DX16 and 17 Maul. And I've got the DX16 Maul without the speeder bike. But, yeah, I mean, and this was a U.S. seller here, 234 feedback. All 100% positive. New. And best offer on the 540. I was actually looking at this one and I missed out on it. But, yeah, I mean, even in this economy, your Grails, your very, very ones that are low runs that are hard to get. This one's very hard to get. They go for some money, folks. They go for some money. And not a DX, but dang, $483.89 with 19 bids with an outstanding seller. 485 feedback. All 100% positive, not including the $8.91 in shipping. Another figure I'm looking for, and it's just so high. Leia Hoth. Yeah, I mean, crazy. Crazy. And I mean, even when you pull up Vader and Tarkin, and look, this outstanding seller, because 100% feedback, but only 34. And to buy a $1,000 figure, 34 feedback, it's hard. It's hard. I remember being a seller way back in those days, and it's hard. And this still went for $875, and it's new. The thing is hopefully this was kept in a good climate place. I don't know how that pleather looks on that Vader, not including the $17.90 in shipping, not including taxes. You're not going to want to miss. Again, you're not going to want to miss this episode, where I'm going to talk about a lot of things that hopefully will be a help to you in navigating through some of this stuff. For sure. For sure. Crazy right now, folks. Absolutely crazy. Please go ahead and smash that like button. Again, I so do very much appreciate your support. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed to the Cantina. I really, really do appreciate it. Remember, I will be live tomorrow night, Monday, April 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern with 6 Scale Raw. And what you gonna do with the Dark Jedi? Go 6 Scale Raw on the heels of Star Wars Celebration. On you. It's gonna be a fun one. You're not gonna want to miss that. Do you follow me on Instagram? If you did, you would have saw my short video I put up yesterday. How do I do that, Aries? Go into the video description. All my social media is on there. Click on that. You can follow me. We're like 4 people away from getting to 1,000 on the Facebook group. So let's go ahead and get it over 1,000 right now. It's free. Go right in there. Social media, you can follow me out there. Remember, I don't always buy coffee out. But when I do, I spill it at 6 Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Thank you.